Hello, monkey. Okay, so we finished with the air ability, the water ability, right? We can also test it again, just to see how it looks. And now the question is, do I start with the air ability or do I do some refactoring on the effects? Because last time we saw that we are actually looking into a map and assuming it is ordered. And firstly, we don't even fill it with an ordered timeline, which we could now, of course. And secondly, a map just reshuffles, and then we just added arrays instead, but they do not order currently. So now maybe I want to refactor that. Anyway, here is the water ability, which heals our side. Let's see if we get any damage without getting killed. Perfect. And these guys just heal our side. Alright, so one of the things we have to consider too for the water side is that they heal more the soft damage than the hard damage, but that is a balancing thing to look over. But now let's actually look at the effects stuff. Now, was the effects in here? Yes. Abstract effect. So my idea right now is to get rid of these two arrays, make a struct that has this as a element and this as the array inside, because one of these is probably an array, right? Yes. So this as one float with an array, and then make that into one array and order them. So let's do that. What do we call this? Trigger array elements. This is trigger table map elements. Let's just call it trigger elements, I guess. Not a good name, but I don't care. Now, is this correct though? What do we need in there? We need this. Whatever this element is. Table map elements, okay. So this is correct. And this is the time. Effect trigger array, should we call this that? Maybe, that's fine. Okay, then we say trigger array elements, and this is old. Trigger array elements, or just trigger array actually. That's fine. And then effects trigger array. Okay, maybe trigger element. Is this correct? Break. Seems so. We need to rename this. Trigger array elements. Good. And now we make this an array. Now exchange all these things. Now the contains is a problem. Cannot just see if we have it. How can we do it? Cannot say contains. This won't work. Because it needs also the same array. So we would need to go through all of them manually in order to do this now. So maybe having these as helpers is a good idea, and then fill it in here after we order them. Or no, we fill them while this happens. So this needs to be a local now. Let's make a new one. Call this then the local times which means now the other part of the algorithm doesn't work anymore. Ugh. Like that. And then I mean, this needs to be a local one too in order to order it, but maybe it's fine like this actually, because we can just copy it into a local, order it, and then reset it or something like that without losing the original one. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This one. Get reference. Very important. Break. And then member. This one. Like that. Right, should do it. Really need to clean this up when this is actually working. But this is already finished now. We just need to go in here and order it. How do we do that? Something like that. This can go here. We need a for each here. I need a for each. Maybe I should make this into its own function actually. Do I even need this? I'm not sure. Probably not. But we could need this instead. So a simple bubble sort should do it. Just need 2 of these. So this one looks at the first. I didn't implement a bubble sort for a long time now. Let's think about this. So if I look at these two and I want the left one to be the smallest, then I need to do if I is smaller than or smaller equal j, then do nothing. Else temp equals I equals j equals temp. And then we would have 5, 7, 3, 1, 6. I, j, we checked. We are now here. We would swap. J is here. We would swap. And so on. So it would be 1, 7, 5, 3, 6. And when we are here at the end, ji, this stays. Then we go to I and j. So this works. Just goes like this. Okay. So we need another for each though, and that needs to then start with +1 of this guy with the last index. Alright. You could even put this into a variable I and j to make it easier to think, but I think it's fine. So what did we say? I smaller equals j. If true, we do nothing. Else, we take get copy is enough. I becomes temp, then set array elements j becomes I again. This is deleting it, right? Give an array and an index assistant assigning the internal. Okay, yes. And then I needs to be temp. So doing this should now order it. We are just doing this wrong, because we actually need to look at their times now. So the letter part is correct, this part is wrong. We need the floats here. Get this one with this one. Break. And then say I with this. Boom. Now this should work. Okay. This an order. And it should work like this. Okay. Now let's check if I'm missing anything. Alright, so now I would think that my effect would still work. Let's see. Yep. It fires it, it does the things in order and then removes it. Although it's hard to see because of the background. Let me add something so we can see. Oop. To 10 black. I don't know what that is. Let's take it anyway. So maybe so it fades in. It stops the particles and then fades out. Good. Now let's change the order of these things. We don't even need this. Or no, this is still needed for the effect to stay there for the particles. Hey Phil, hello! So let's exchange these two, because this is like fundamental. This needs to happen before that, but now, since we have the ordering, this should still work. Did it work though? I'm not sure. Start with this. Seems to have worked. Let's make the fading a little longer to just make sure that it is actually working. So right now it's from 0 to 1.5. Let's say 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and the particles can stay where they are. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that could be just how Unreal is handling this. Also, the particles are not stopping. Concerning. Let's test this again. No, it's not doing it. So I guess it's not firing. Do I have a bug in there then? Crap. Why would it not work? Let's first check the order here. So 0, 3, and 3, that is concerning. Why do we have time 3 2 times? Fade out is inside 2 times. So I think my ordering is doing something very, very bad. Let's find out what's going on. So now, wait, there are still only 3 things in here? Turn off particles are here though. Fade out. And 2 of these. Okay, so the adding still happens correctly. The swapping here is probably wrong. Let's find out. So first off, we go with 0 and 1. And then check 0 with 3, which should be true and do nothing. Good. Then we are at 0 and 1 should also be true. 0 and 2, which is 0 is smaller than 2, which is true. So now we are at 1 and 2, the last check, which is now false. And now we put I into temp. And this is the wrong thing. Yeah, we are actually exchanging J. This is wrong. God damn it. So actually, since we put I inside here, I needs to be replaced by J. And then J needs to replace by temp. So this should now work. Let's try this again. Zero, 2, 3. Oh my god. Fade out. Turn off. Fade in. Seems to be correct to me. Fade in, particle stop, and fade out. Good, works. Now let's clean up. We could make a while loop here to get rid of this thing. Maybe that's a good idea. But we would not be able to break here or... I mean... if time... Okay, this is always a tick. So this will just loop through this thing until it finds something. And then remove it. So it's fine. So a while loop would work, but I am too lazy to change it. Let's go to the next. Anything not connected dies. Right. Okay. Now let's get rid of anything that's not used here. I think this is dead already. Nope. How about this? This one? Yeah, this one's dead. This should be fine. Okay. This one's also gone. Okay, I think we are now clean. Check one more time. Now this can be a little cleaner. Let's see. I really don't care about the readability here. I could use some local variables here, but nah, it's fine. It's just a bubble sort. Okay. Like that. This is fine. 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 And this is fine. Okay. So the refactoring is done. And I believe my effects all work still. We could test that, of course. Don't save. Let's see, first off, let's make defense. Seems to work. Yep. Seems like he didn't get any damage. Is that correct? Let's stay here and see what's happening. Oh. Is it that strong, or... Or is something happening there? It's extremely strange. So he gets hit, but there's like no HP change. Ah, okay, there's minimal damage there. So he gets damage, but he's overpowered currently. Wait, now he got healed. Something is definitely strange there. I guess there is a problem there with too high numbers. Let's see, what is his stats? Slimy. So currently... ...100 HP and everything else is also 100. Which means he's extremely strong. But that also means that we have to be very careful about 1 HP damages. To not make it wrong. Spirit 100, some attack comes in. Our value. You should look into this here. Let's wait until only Slimy is alive. Right. Now power, stat 7, intelligence true goes to spirit. We get the spirit defense values 100, 7 minus 100. I would like to look into this, but I can't. So this is the normal thing. Hard damage resistance. Let's go one more. It says 0 hard damage, and I believe that is it then soft damage at least? 1. How much soft damage did he have? Only 1. What is this one? 1 plus 1 should be 2. And this is then false. Okay, and then the next one, please. So tell me, this is 2, so it is accumulating soft damage, which is good. Oh, and then it heals its soft damage. And then it heals the soft damage in the I see. So the thing is actually working correctly. Just the numbers we set for the classes. Because here resolve phase. I guess we're not resolving it though. Or are we? We are. So there is a recovery here happening. Just need to update it at the end. I just update from here then. I mean, it should do it after this. We need a update all kind of thing. Maybe remove it from this. We don't have them all? Excuse me? Fine, let's do it like this then. Ta-da! Accepted player currently, but that's fine, we can always edit. At a later point. Let's see if it works now. Or still works, that is. I see that little part. And then it got healed. Now it makes sense, because like it needs to heal here and not when it gets damaged. We can also check how these guys get healed. So yes, they also get healed. That guy's dead now. That was strange. Why did he get hit? I think we need to add a silent hit to walls. It's hard to see without the others. I mean, why is there a hit anyway? I think in walls we don't need a hit. Okay, did I miss-see it? Like, what's going on here? Let's check. Ability Earth. This one. Yeah, there is no hit, so he couldn't even do it. I think my brain just derped there. Anyway, another bug is gone. And now it's time for air ability. Well, the question is, which one? We said, let's just add the sleep one first, and then we can add the confusion one later. Which will be a magical attack with some kind of thing happening on the front. Like some kind of spores raining down or something. And making that front phalanx sleep. Now, of course, we also need to think about how likely it is that they sleep. We have to calculate some kind of stat versus stat thing. And then add some kind of chance into it, I guess. Oh boy. But let's start. First we need a folder called air. And now, what could we add here to make it happen? We need a multi-magic effect kind of thing. Can apply some kind of effect. How will we even apply effects? We need to add them into the temporal stat. Let me make some tea. Whew. Oh my. This is different, but we also need damage maybe, but that would be... It really depends on what attack it does, I guess. Alright, it's 35 right now. 38. I need to get rid of the bag. Temp status map. So we already have the decay in here. For what though? Do I even use this currently? We also like have to apply whatever the status effects have. Okay, it's 38. You also now need the silent versus not silent thing. And our status effects also need like some kind of value for checking. So we have severity and round remaining, but we don't have like clear when loud or something like that. For instance, for when we get hit while we are sleeping. We could even make it so that when you're sleeping and get hit, it just reduces the rounds remaining at a certain amount. It should also make it instant critical hit if you have a physical attack. Where is this from? Status effect struct. Shouldn't be in here, but it's fine. Do we play with payloads here? Should we give it a name? Should this be an object instead? So it can also have a UI element, etc. Or do the fighting entity UI elements have some kind of status on them? This is a bigger thing. I should have called my title not air ability, but instead status effect system. Let's imagine we have a status effect that is sleep. That means you just cannot use anything. You just are in your sleep state and just ignore your round. What about poison? Do we apply poison in this decay or remove stat effect? Maybe it's more like another resolve phase where it is not only decay, but in front of it like apply status effects or process status effects, and then only the processable status effects apply their stuff, right? So we have the name etc. in here, but type additional data status effect. Interesting. What is in here? Can make a function called apply status effect and then have this inserted there, but we need to calculate. This needs to happen in here actually. The info is going in anyway. Hit silent. Interesting. Let's write down what we need to solve. That happens already. We cannot do it without poison. But only with physical attacks. And not only that, we also need like we need exceptions. Like, if I am hitting with a physical attack to cause confusion, and then hitting it with a physical attack normally, that confusion should get removed. But what if my Orpling is confused and I hit it with the confusion physical attack? It should not get rid of the confusion. If ever, it should even make it stronger or refresh it or something like that. So I guess we also need some special things there. Which means if you have multiple physical or just a physical attack as a status effect causer, you have to be sure to check the order of your attacks, or else you could delete some attack you just applied already, like sleep. But maybe it's fine for you, right? Now I'm thinking about all the status effects we could apply. What about blind? Is blindness effective in my case? You have so many fronts. How many of these fronts can do physical attacks? Will I have physical attacks everywhere? Then again, I'm concerned about blindness in magic attacks, but since fire is the main magic user and they are like the counter against air, that is actually good, no? Because they firstly are resistant to the status effects. They usually don't use physical attacks, so if they are blind, it doesn't matter. So as air, you have a problem against fire. So that's normal. chance of you to speak dropped even more. Have fun. Bye bye. Should I mix it into this? I'm not sure. Or do I need a mix? What's the reason why I am doing it inside the fighting entity instead of the ability? Is it because not to implement it in multiple places? Maybe that should be then a function library. We also need to check hit miss. And then we have to check status effect applied or not. And then depending on if this thing can apply damage, apply it. Complicated, complicated. So let's say target versus ability info here. Do we know the owner? No. No, this is the ability already. Owning FE is here. So for instance, if we use sleep, get stat, spirit versus intelligence. And then we need a curve again to determine the applied chance, I guess, which is again some kind of spreadsheet I need to prepare. It will be hard to be balanced, but it should be straightforward. Just takes a long time to wrap around everything. I also need to make sure to know how long the game is, etc. Post-game levels, merging. Oh my god, so many things. So this now give us some kind of loads. Which will be a value between 0 and 1. Random float range is maximum with this one. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. This should be from 0 to 1. And then we have to check if it's below this thing. If it's below, then it's applied. If it's above, it's not applied. Let's say we have a chance of 0.3. If we roll below, it should not be applied. So if this, let's call this chance. If the roll is smaller or equal the chance, then apply, else don't apply. And when we apply, we need to add, for instance, leap, make, and now round remaining is important. Severity stays whatever was the strongest, and the rounds remaining will be refreshed if they are smaller than the new. Ability. Which means you could use one Orpling with a strong ability to apply a strong status effect, and then you could theoretically use a weaker one which has a smaller chance to apply, but if it applies it would just refresh it in a smaller scale though, so it's not really feasible. But you could do it if you wanted to conserve mana points if you wished. You could even have some kind of attack that takes all status effects, negative ones maybe, and just adds rounds on it on top, making it extremely dangerous if you cannot heal it. Maybe a 100% hit chance. Alone it's like not useful at all, but if it's combined with other status effects it would be extremely hard. Maybe not added into the air formation, but somewhere else. Maybe even in the defense, but I'm not sure. I would put it in water maybe. Cause havoc with air and then go to air and just fortify their faith. Something like that. Could be interesting synergy. Could we do something similar from water to air? Maybe air could like have a attack that, or support attack that can add rounds to your positive status effects, and then they can synergize between each other. Like the water one could make like a regeneration aura and a defense aura and whatever. And then you go to air and then just add rounds to them so they cannot be removed. And the enemy could have like remove positive buffs magic. Are you then forced to play with that? I wonder. Are you forced to get rid of enemy status effects because they are too strong? And can you only remove the front ones or also the whole group? feel like you should be able to remove the whole group. But maybe we could have 2 levels of it. One is for only front, and then in later stages you can get one for removing the whole group. Costs more MP, of course. Water would have the heal your negative ones, and air could have remove positive things from enemy. Then you could maybe choose one attacking thing. Attacking status effect with air that you can fortify with water by also removing the buffs of the enemy, and then you would have 3 abilities on your side on air. And then on water you could have a healing one, or maybe you can remove the healing and just have remove status effect one, which can also heal a little bit. I wonder if healing MP is too overpowered. Anyway, that would be the thing to do. Now, just thinking about this thing. I think we need to get rid of this and make it a library thing, so it is not in here. Because here it doesn't make sense, really. Let's see. I believe we are not overwriting this anyway. We have one here. The barrier one. That is overriding it. But that's fine, I think. So So the barrier one is doing it a little differently. Can you override a function library function? Oh. Maybe in that case an interface is the way to go. But where would I then do the calculations? I would need an object inside, which could be the bottle controller, but I mean, seems a little stupid. So right now I have the problem that the barrier also needs to get damage applied with the same thing as anything else. So for that reason, having a blueprint library makes no sense anymore. Damaging a barrier versus an ARPling versus a summoner should do different things. And they all need damage calculation that we want to apply just singularly and not check what we are attacking. Does the same thing apply for status effects? Now let's say I am using the sleep thing that will go for the whole target competitor and only use the front and never go for the summoner, and also never for, oh, it does go for the wall. Maybe it should be able to damage magical walls actually. Whew, now it's getting extremely complicated. Well, not extremely, but still. So it needs to be able to damage magical walls, apply sleep on ARPlings without damaging them, and not getting applied to summoner. That's easy because it never gets targeted anyway. Probably. I don't even need to do this probably, but I'm not sure. should be more like target competitor. And then get front. Why ordered? What does ordered mean? What is ordered? New highest. Ah, okay, this is just for speed. So no. Front. So we need to take these. There is nothing else we have. Would be nice to have a front arp links thing, but whatever. This is where we have to check. So do I calculate and apply status effect and calculate and apply damage and status effect? I wonder if I should add it in here. And then we will probably have the issue that when we are here in hits, it's fine. It's fine, we have a pre-calculation. I'm just very cautious to add more of these in here, Because that would mean it will just grow and grow. The chance goes very, very low, and then some level here. So I cannot even use this because this is a value of 1, except if I set minus. We would need a separate curve for this. Stats difference for status effect apply chance. If two stats are the same and I use a very, very, very weak attack, should it apply? If I'm at the beginning of the levels, should a low level apply easily, and if I'm in the middle and I use a middle attack, apply as easy if they have the same stat? Do I need to add another factor in the chance, as in lower levels have higher chance even if they're equal, but the higher it gets, the more it's skewed to the defender, and you need to use stronger attacks to compensate. Like level 0 or level 1, and then you have like light sleep, you have a 0.5% chance, 50% chance to cause sleep if they are not resistant. And then you are level 50, let's say, I don't know, like there is no 50, but merge level 1 plus 10 levels, how about that? And then your stats are the same. Now the chance should be 0.25 maybe, and if you use a medium ability of the same caliber, then it needs to be 0.5%. Something like that. The problem is we need to wait for this balancing until we know how our whole game will look like, plus what I expect the player to have, and also think about, do enemies have merge levels, or should I only play with levels themselves, or maybe just stats in general. Like the higher the stats, the lower the chance, even if the attacking stat is the same as the defending one. Let's say attack and defense stat is 1, then you have a 0.5% chance, but if 100 versus 100, you have like 0.25%. Hey Marath! Hello, hello. Yes, indeed, monkey. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I wonder if we can even reach 300 with our stats. Should I cap the stats at 255? Maybe I could unlock them, but then this should go into infinity instead of staying here. I don't know. So should we make a curve then? Just passing through dev streams? Did you find anything interesting? How's the game going? Well, I am making progress, but it is slow, as you can see on the days. I have a very early prototype, but I'm right now in the middle of refactoring my battle system, which is a bigger endeavor. Abilities. Are you a dev yourself? Maybe I should make a new one for status effects. And then let's add the curve. Something like that. And now the question is, how would this get applied? So if we have a 0 to 0 difference, I would like to have this at 0.5. The problem is, now I also want if they are a certain level up, I need to like reduce this curve. I feel like this is a 3D curve. God damn it. Oh, you do? Well, I could show you stuff if you want. Let's see. This is my current stand of the refactoring, but I can also show you the whole the real game. Everything here is like dummy graphics, except maybe the protagonist here that has like the graphics I want to aim for. This was a commission. Like low poly, low res, PlayStation 1 kind of models. And these ones I modeled myself, so they look very bad. But this is a formation-based, turn-based monster collecting RPG. Maybe you can tell. So right now, there are two competitors. You have a formation here with some elements, and your opponent has that same thing. The idea is you have these elements like fire, water, earth. There's another side on the other side, which is lightning, crystal, and air. And depending on what element you choose some kind of class of attacks. For instance, if you are in fire, you use offensive magic. If you are on earth, you use defensive physical stuff. With water, you can have support magic. With air, you have harassment magic or attacks, whatever. Crystal is defense magic, and lightning is physical attacks. So the enemy is on physical attacks, magic attacks here with fire. So I can switch to crystal. My Orplings change their formation. And then we can cast some kind of shield in front of us so that the enemy attacks cannot go through. And then we can switch to fire ourselves to attack the enemy. So this is how the main gameplay will look like. You have your formation and you try to win. And all of this will be based on this thing here, my main game, where you have Mira, the protagonist, which can walk around, and you are in this crater. And there are buildings here you can visit. All of this is like just my bad artistic stuff, so they will all be exchanged. But you can go into this temple or whatever it is. There will be a big guy here. You can jump down here. And then you can go and interact with this crystal. And then you are in this world map. Nice, the UI looks really good. Really? It really needs some work though. The colors are fighting each other. So I really need to make another pass, but I hope the UI is good enough to visualize the formations. So now you are in this floating islands, and there are these swarms jumping around. Right now I cannot fight them because it's the old battle system that I just showed you that I'm refactoring. But if you touch them, a fight would start and then you would do the things I just showed you. If they get bored, they fly away again and then go idle at the top. But you can also just juke them and then not touch them. You can see down here, we came from here, and if you look at the... Please stay there. If you look at the sky, you can see that there are other islands you can visit. And you can also jump to the other side of islands to find other things. And then there are these caves you can explore, where you can fight some other Orplings that could give you new attacks that you can then use at your base to augment your formation. You can find items you can collect, which could be Orplings themselves you can put in your formation, and other things. So you go into these caves, try to find a key. Please don't touch me. So if I look up here, is still our little spawn point. And if I fought these little guys, which is very strange that two of them are right now on the ground. I think something broke here. I need to fix that. Only one of them should be down, and they should actually fly up. I'm not sure what happened there. Probably some kind of refactoring I did. Doesn't matter. Also is something strange on the ground. So if I fight them, I can collect some energy that I can exchange in this little flowery thing to get a key. And then I can go into this flower that sends me to the next island, which is here. And then you just climb and climb, and there will be way more islands than these. The little critter reminds me of pigments. Well, the critters, for instance, they also have new models that I didn't add yet. But the idea is that they will look like this. Let me see. Commissions. Let's show you the new Tomati, for instance. They will look more like the thumbnails you saw in the UI. So they will look like this. A little refiner, I guess. I have all of them, all 6 of them. Let me see if I can show. Maybe the snacky, which is this guy. And then there are more, of course. And the idea is these guys can also evolve depending on how you raise them. And then they will get bigger and bigger. And yeah, like a normal monster collecting game, I guess. Just with formations. But currently I am reworking my whole battle system. My old battle system was very slow. And it had a lot of logical clutter, so I'm rebuilding it from scratch. My old one was, if you have 3 in your formation, they would go one by one, attack, and it could take like, I don't know, 15 seconds until the round is over. And then I implemented like a skipping functionality, and then I felt like I'm always skipping, and that's like great. Now you have these attacks that look good, but if you are always more like skipping the rounds, what's the point? So I was like, yeah, okay, maybe they should attack all at once so it doesn't take 15 seconds, but maybe 5. And by doing that, I'm trying to also improve the looks. So it looks like a more refined prototype. And currently, I implemented 5 of the elements. And now we are implementing the air one, which is the harassment element, which needs status effects. And now I'm building the status effect system. And I'm thinking about many things that have many implications. But yeah, I need to start somewhere, and just every day there is more progress. So where was I? I was thinking that if the 2 stats that are compared with each other for status effect chance, if they have a difference of 0, I wanted to have a 0.5 chance, like 50% chance to apply. If the attacker has more difference, like if the defender has a spirit of 1 and the attacker has intelligence of 10, then this chance also needs to be higher. But then I also thought, if the overall stat is higher of the defender, the difference between them should also make minimal change. I need some kind of multiplicator. Like, let's say, if the both stats are 1-1, we have a difference of 0. That I want to be a 0.5 chance. If the defender is 1. If the defender is 10, maybe the chance... So the difference is now 9, actually, not 10. Could be around 0.75 or something. But what if the defender is 100 and the attacker is 100? The difference is 0, and I want the raw chance to be 0.25 in this case. So, or maybe even less. So, if we have 1, 50, 100, maybe we multiply 1, 0.5, 0.25 on top of the curve, I guess. So the curve has a raw percentage calculation, which is like some kind of curve like this and not a linear one. Not this. To go from 0 chance to 1. And then depending on the level, we apply a multiplication, and then we also check the level of the ability to compensate. So if it's small, the level difference is 0, and the defender has a level of 1, then it's 0.5. If the difference is 0, and the defender is level 50, it should be 0.25 because of this multiplication. If the difference is 10, let's say level is 1, then 0.75. If we are 10, difference 50. Now the multiplication would go in here and half this. So 3 to 5 would be now the chance, which is greater than here. Because the level is a little higher. I think this could work. So what is with medium? 0, 1, 0.75, and let's say if large attacks raw on a 0 difference 1, then it has a 100% chance. And we didn't even add the resistance. Which is something to consider, because if air or water attacks earth or crystal, there should be a higher chance for this to apply, versus if they try to apply it to fire or lightning, which should be less. Did I account for that? Did I account for that? Where's the benefits table? Here. So fire, element status effect resistance bonus has 0.25. Water doesn't have, and perfect earth has a -1, which multiplies the thing. So if we would apply this now into whatever we did here, maybe large shouldn't be 1, but it could still be, it doesn't matter. If this attack would happen against Earth, now we would need to multiply this on top with 0.25, like 1.25, which makes this a chance of 1.25. How would it be with 0.75? 0.75 divided by 4 plus 0.75. Now that goes to 0.9375. So with medium you would be very certain to hit. There's a small chance not to hit. And that's when the difference is 0 in level 1. Let's see. Small, 0, 1, 0, 5. 0, 5 divided by 4 plus 0.5. So this is then a little smaller, 0.625, which is fine-ish, I guess. Maybe we need to think about adding that bonus instead of multiplying. Could work. How about these things? .25 would be very, very small still. But I guess it's fine, right? No, I think this is good. It really depends on what level you are. So we need to multiply this afterwards and then also do the other thing. So we just need a normal curve on 0, 1. The rest is just, or no, on 0, and the rest is just a modification of the curve. So what did we say? At 0, you have a 0.55 chance. Now what about if we are at a difference of 100? No, let's say 10 first. 10. What did we say? I don't remember. Should it be 0.75 here? 10 levels? No. A stat difference of how much? Also, should status effects be only calculated by defense and offense values, or also with other things like speed, precision, etc.? Would it be too one-dimensional seeing it like that because you already have these stats for damage calculation? Should it be also used exactly the same way for status effects, or do I add some kind of other thing in there? Can I even? Should HP matter? Maybe that's a future monkey problem. Let's say if we are difference of 30 stat points, then this should be 0.75. Now, how do I do the thing so it... No. This one? Fit. Didn't fit. Wait, it did fit. Did it fit? I don't know. What's going on? 0, 0.5, 0... What? 30. 0.75. Oh my god. This is so bad. Can I not fit the height? Ah, there you go. What's going on here? Anyway, this is 0, 30, and now we need for 100. And 100 should be a definite 1. And it should be the same for the reverse, I would say. Minus 30 is 0.25. And minus 100 is 0 chance. Something like that. Now we just need to maybe play around with these. Why is this not a user? They should all be user. Why is it like that? Oh my god, this is so stupid. Okay, never mind. And then the stat stuff should look like this, I guess. Although something was very strange here. Why is it like that? Okay, at 30 right now it would be 0.6. Is this what we want? I wonder. Could even make it like this. Haha, that would be stupid. I'm so sad that you cannot add some values for the tangents. What's weighted tangents? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Flatten. Can you do other things? Straighten? Smart snap? Whatever. Should I add a key or should I play with the tangent here? I wonder. I want this to reach 0.75 at 30, which is around here. So do I even need this thing? No, now it's too much. A little bit too much, not too much. Yeah, but I also want this to flatten a little bit. Huh. Maybe we really need another point there. Wait, flatten this. And then 30, 0.75. Straighten? No. Flatten. Oh my god, this is so bad. How can I do the same thing now on the other side? What does straightening tangents even mean in this context? If I press it, nothing happens. So stupid. Yes, it's only for weighted tangents then, I guess. No, it's just not working. This is such a joke too, like this is now here versus this, and if I touch it, they just mirror. Oh my god, it's so bad. Maybe it's because I need to break it, but still it's so not useful that I cannot use some very certain numbers. Like I would like to give this thing a certain tangent. Instead we are stuck with eyeballing it. This is so stupid. Like, this cannot be the same tangent here. Is it now? There's no way. It changes tangents too. Like, what should I do, man? This is so stupid. I mean, it looks symmetrical right now, but I'm not sure if it's actually. What if we played with this? Can I even? This is so stupid again. Like this. Pretty much. Just very hard to like just give this a number. Maybe the internet knows. There's shift snapping. Oh, it's just snapping there. Is it more like this then? Not even the... Oh my god, this is so stupid. Oh god, this is so bad. It's not even flat. Like this. Very close to it, I guess. Sound like this. So a very sharp increase. I'm not even sure if I want the 7.5 to be on 30, because I don't know the differences of stats that much. I feel like a difference of 30 should be a normal difference, maybe in higher levels. Not sure, but it doesn't matter that much because we will decrease it the higher level we are and then multiply it by whatever. So for now we can leave this, I guess. And then we just need to calculate with it. Alright, but I think I will do that another time. We will have to mingle here and find out how to do it. What is sure is we need different behaviors between the different fighting entities. So it should still be this. But I'm not sure if I should add it into the attack apply damage stuff, or I should make it a different thing, because if my attack damages, should it automatically apply or not? I wonder. Does a critical hit make it more likely to apply a status effect? I don't know. I guess that's for tomorrow to find out. Anyway, for today, Monkey is done. So Marath, Phil, thanks for tuning in. Lurkers, thank you. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, monkey.